of the companies were kind of Me Too, fell behind, burning capital companies. Absolutely, there are a ton of these investments that will be dead ends.
And you look at all the investments that are being made today by some of the big tech companies. Some companies were not making money on AI yet, but are making massive commitments to chip makers and data centers and say this math makes sense.
The AI is the biggest technical thing ever in my lifetime. I mean, it is so profound, and therefore its influence is hard to overstate. And the economic value, this is basically intelligence, where you can get medical advice, or you can get a tutor, or you can get somebody to help you design drugs. So the value is extremely high. Just like creating the internet ended up being, in that, very, very valuable. But you have a frenzy, and some of these companies will be glad they spent all this money. Some of them, they'll commit to data centers whose electricity is too expensive, that it can be done overseas, or they'll buy a generation of chips and they won't have captured all their value before the next one comes along. But if you want to be a tech company, you don't get to say no. Let's check out of this space.
Where do you think the public appetite for this is ultimately going to be? And I ask because I think there's concerns about two things that are happening right now. One is energy costs. So there's a whole bunch of places where people want to put data centers, and the community